Hello YouTube, time for another knife review. Canadian Edge here. Going to be looking at, you guessed it, a CRKT CEO Flipper. And I have done the original CRKT CEO with the thumb stud on it, but now I have the Flipper and thought we'd take a look at that and see what it has to offer. If it's any different than the original. And it is. They've made some changes to the knife. So starting off, we got a blade of 3.35 inches. Open, it is 7.69 inches. And closed, we have 4.35 inches. The steel on this is an AUS 8. And the weight on it is 1.9 ounces. So it's a nice light knife. And rightly so, because it's supposed to fit in your shirt pocket and that. So you don't want something heavy pulling down on your shirt pocket there. The handle on it, it is a glass reinforced nylon. And it has the stainless steel liners, which are milled. I don't know if I can get that so you can see the milling on it or not. You can see it on the back end there. That's how they're milled. Well, except this one. This one only has one, and then it's cut a bit for the liner lock. So, or sorry, two on that one. 2 holes. Anyway, it does have milling to lighten them up. The pocket clip on this, it is a reversible tip up deep carry. And again, because it goes in your shirt pocket, that's what you want. You don't want a lot of knife sticking up for everybody to see. So the deep carry is good. It is flipper opening, and it is a liner lock on there. And it has the CRKT IKBS ball bearing pivots in the ball bearings in the pivot, sorry. And this design is a Richard Rogers design, and I don't know if you can make that out. It does say Rogers design on the blade, and no, my camera's not going to focus on that. So, but it is on there. And then you got CRKT on the other side. And sorry about the lighting. All right, so this has the blade is centered, and there is no blade play up and down, side to side. It sits in there nice and solid, which is really good. It's a nice thin blade, and this is a great knife for great EDC for office workers, because you can put that in your shirt pocket, you can put it in your pants pocket, and it definitely does not take up a lot of room. Let's see what it's like for sharpness. Now, I have used this knife to open packages and letters, and you can see it still cuts paper. That's more my fault than the knife's fault. It cuts paper just fine. How does it do with you know what? A good old zip tie. Now it might try and ride up, but I don't know. It's got a nice flat edge there for a while, so cut through that pretty darn easy. I'll have to keep that in mind when I have to cut some stuff with the zip ties, or cut some zip ties, and cut through that pretty easily. I don't know why that unraveled. I guess I quit pulling. And no effort at all to cut the nylon. So it does cut very well. Size-wise, what do we got? You got the Ontario Rat 2. So you can see it's got good 1/2 inch length on that. We got the Bug Out. And it is longer than the Bug Out, just slightly. Not a whole lot, but it is a little bit bigger than the Bug Out. And get a couple of the big knives out here. Got the Spyderco Tenacious. And they are, well, the Tenacious is slightly bigger. And Civivi Cogent. And the Cogent is, again, well, gosh, they are close. Pretty darn close to each other. So it's a little longer knife. And as I say, I have used it for opening packages and letters. Works great for that. It is a discreet knife, so if you were to pull that out in the office, people might just think that you actually had a letter opener and not an actual whole knife on you. Unless they saw the pocket clip and saw it in your pocket, then they might wonder why you're carrying a letter opener around in your pocket. But in terms of just using it in an office space and that, it probably wouldn't be too intimidating to too many people. But still very effective use. So I like the aesthetics of the CEO, not CERO. I have CRKT in my brain, and so the aesthetics on it, they are good. I like the carbon fiber on the original a little better than the glass reinforced nylon, but this looks good as well. I like the swedge that they have on the blade. I think that's a good look on the blade. It just gives a little I don't know, definition to the blade. You do have a bit of jimping on the flipper, so that gives you a little grip when you're opening it. And the ergonomics on it are really good. Again, if you had to slice things, you could use this for slicing vegetables and stuff camping, or if you're making a salad at work, you could cut things up with that. The grip on it, it does have a bit of texturing on the handle or on the scales there, and so it does give you grip. It's not going to slip very easy. And I had already mentioned it fits in the pocket really well. I like the pivot cap. It looks a little better than just a plain old pivot screw in there. Gives a little bit of aesthetic look as well. And the pivot on it is smooth. It operates just fine. It's not drop close or that, but it drops pretty easy. My only real complaint about it is, well, kind of two complaints. I've kind of mentioned there at the start. It's a little more plain than the original. Again, I liked the carbon fiber handle or scales a little bit better, but it's still a good looking knife. And the flipper, while I like the fact that it's very small flipper and not protruding, you have to get it just right to flip it open. And so at the start, until I found just the right way to do it, I had a couple times there where it was kind of difficult to open, and other people that I've handed it to have found it difficult to open until you figure out you have to kind of not flick down like a light switch, but you have to kind of push it down and in at the same time. So So it can be, maybe it's just this knife. I haven't tried other flipper CEOs to see how they work, but yeah, this one, it seemed to be could be a little on the hard side for people to open, and so different people I talked to said they preferred the thumb stud to the flipper until you get onto it. And now that I've used it a number of times, I don't have any problem opening it. It opens just fine. So yes, it is a very nice knife. Great knife for the office. I don't even know if I own a shirt with a pocket on the front that I could have showed you how it sits in the pocket. I own a lot of t-shirts and a lot of polo shirts, but not a lot of pocketed shirts. So I won't show you that, unfortunately. You'll have to take my word or watch some of the other promotional videos where it shows them in the shirt pocket. But I can definitely tell you it fits in pants pocket really well. You don't even notice it's there hardly. Takes up very little room in the pants pocket. So if you prefer to carry it that way, it definitely will not be an obstruction. And it's a nice little knife. And so I will be doing at some point a comparison between this and the original. There is also a compact version of this. I don't think I will get that and include in the comparison, but watch for the comparison that will come up here shortly. So the CRKT CEO Flipper. Check them out, especially if you're looking for an office EDC. Good knife for that, and you'll really enjoy them. They're a good solid little knife, and CRKT is very reliable. And yeah, I would encourage you to check them out. So that is the CEO Flipper. All right, thanks for joining me on this review. I'll be doing another review in a few days. Until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.